Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to our NASCAR 2025 series for Walker Air Transport. Again, we're not able to use the liveries within Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So we are here, early morning here on Saturday, February 22nd. We're getting ready to head out of Daytona, and we're going to be moving along to Atlanta. So we've got a little bit of interest in how things work. The studio software that we use, Fly Studio, for tracking and providing that bar and that information up top, doesn't have Hampton in there for some reason. I don't know why. So Kilo Hotel Mike Papa is where we are actually headed. We are not going to Kilo 6 Alpha 2, but that was an airport that's kind of on the way and close, so we're going a little further than that. I think it's right around 303 nautical miles. But my other choice was to do Atlanta Hartsfield, which was beyond that, and that would make it seem far too far. So I figured I'll do that, and then you'll know we're kind of getting close. We're within 5-10 miles of the airport. So we've got everything set, and obviously now we're here inside the plane. So we're going to get everything on, as we always do. Get our pitot heaters running. Turn on our nav light.
Air Canada 1203. The traffic ahead of you and to your left is going to the left. Heavy Airbus. Contact tower on 119.7.
So
traffic in sight, switching to 119.7, Air Canada 1203.
Atlanta's doing, or Atlanta. ATC is doing its thing. So let's head over here. We'll get our position initialized, and then we'll head over to the flight plan. Kilo Delta Alpha Papa, Kilo Hotel, or Bravo, I'm sorry, Papa. I don't know what I was thinking there, so there you go, 304. We are set with the flight plan this morning to take off on runway 34, and we'll be using Royce 4. Now it does show Craig, or Charlie Romeo Golf, as the transition, and let's see, and then it's RNAV 6, and just using the regular from final, actually JUPEP transition. So we're going to execute that, and that may then involve some changes to things, but let's see. So we're going to go barbs, and CRJ, let's see, do we have a, we don't have a yeah but let's see, let me look at my flight plan here, because I do think we're going to have some, well, actually we just have one. So we're doing Mike, Charlie, November. Alright, and that would be Macon. That would make sense. Macon, Georgia, I know, is in that place. So we will execute performance. Our cruise altitude that we are requesting this time is 320. I did set my flight plan accordingly, so hopefully we can ignore the problems we were having before. Alright, so winds are 310 at 8. Temperature is 14. And 3002 is the QNH.
811 Zulu, descend to 2000, cleared for the visual 15.
Descending to 2000, cleared for the visual 15811 Zulu.
We'll get these legs in here. Thinking we should be able to do it by then. Maybe not. See what it says. Oops. Hold on. Oh, okay. I'm like, something's not right, but there. Alright, and then we just go down accordingly, because, yeah, we can go all the way from here. So we will still be... Well, at Macon we might not be, because it's 56 miles. So, yeah, we're going to be at 320 at Craig. So we'll do that, and then it can do what it needs to after that. So I think we're going to go ahead and just put this up to there. Hopefully that'll work. So I'm assuming we're going to get clearance up to 4,000. So I'm going to start off at this point, as I tend to do, is just let you guys know. The only thing I ask is please like and subscribe. That helps with the channel, helps with the algorithm, and helps get us a little bit more noticed here. We're going to be trying to catch up to the NASCAR schedule. That's definitely the goal here. So while we finish up the last few bits, let's go ahead and get our clearance. Before we do that, we need to make sure we're set on the right radio. So, not sure what we've been listening to. Alright, so we got that. Daytona clearance. Walker 4021 requesting IFR to Atlanta Hampton. Okay. Seems to have this weird radio issue. It says, I'll have your clearance in just a second on the text, but obviously we didn't see anything yet. Alright.
Walker 4021 cleared to Atlanta Hampton via the Roya 7 departure. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 3000. Expect flight level 32010 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.85, squawk 2575. Expect runway 34.
Cleared to Atlanta Hampton via the Royce 7 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 3000. Expect flight level 32010 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.85, squawk 2575. Expect runway 34. Walker 4021. Alright, so let's get our altitude into the bug there. Alright, and we are at 3002 for our altimeter. Whoops, that's 3. No, there we go. So, pretty much sea level here, but it's Daytona, so that's not surprising. So, we'll go ahead, get ourselves VNAV, get the yaw damper turned on. Alright. And that should get us where we need. So, unless folks are...
Niner Papa, you are still on clearance delivery frequency. Switch to tower on 120.7 for takeoff clearance.
Alright, let me get this over.
Daytona Beach clearance delivery, Piper 199er, Quebec, type Piper 24. At Embry Riddle, for the pattern, we have Lima.
Piper 9er, Quebec, Daytona Beach clearance, squawk 4322.
Gonna get our flaps down. Okay, we got our trim moving in the wrong direction. We just want to be in green. So that was where elevator trim no takeoff was sitting. Alright, we can apply some engine run stop, get the fuel going. And we will do the same with the left and get ourselves ready to go. And runway 34 is pretty much right in front of us. So we got a great parking spot while we were sitting here. They had us move around on the field, and typical location for a lot of these things is down here at 3-4. So it's the southeast ramp is what they refer to it on the airport charts. Again, let's get this going. And that speed brake just gets in the way. So, not that I can't see the button, I just can't actually reach the button. What is happening with... I can't imagine the sun is moving that quickly, but maybe we had a cloud. But you kind of... I don't know if you saw the light on my windshield. But yeah, I think we're going to head over that way, and I think this will then take us right in. But let's let them know we are now ready, configured, and ready to go. So let me get ground, which will be 121.9er. Daytona ground, Walker 4021, ready for taxi.
Walker 4021, Daytona Beach International Airport ground, taxi to runway 34 via Echo 1, Echo.
Alright, now I do need to get my Walker tracking going, because I had messed that up last time. So, as we take a look around, we've got a little bit... Now, there's supposed to be a building there, but obviously, you know, these small airports aren't going to have the scenery. But, yes, exactly where we thought. So, we are set there. Go ahead and spool up a little bit and get ourselves moving. So, I do not know. Well, I do know, so let me see. It might be too late, because in theory I'm supposed to start this ahead of the sim, so maybe it'll crash. I don't know. We'll see. So it's connecting up. I'm going to give it, let it do its thing. And we'll see. Alright, it thinks we're going, so let's see if it's any better once we get rolling here. Oh, I lowered myself back down a little bit, but not much. But, you know, the benefit is, I mean, it's always a little bit, because I think I'm using that frame insertion, so it does some of this crazy view. Taxi to runway 34 via Echo 1, Echo, Walker 4021. So, silly me. Kind of forgot to, let's go ahead and get ourselves over to departure. Daytona departure, Walker 4021, runway 34.
Walker 4021, Daytona Beach International Airport clearance, runway 34 is correct, but please read back the entire clearance for verification.
Alright, let me find it. Cleared to Atlanta Hampton via the Roy's 7 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 3000, expect flight level 320, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.85. Squawk 2575. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, read back correct.
We are here at runway 34 holding short. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, you are on the clearance frequency. Please contact ground or tower for further instructions.
Oh shoot, I am. Silly me. I thought it had left the, I thought it had left things in there. Oh, tower. So I'm putting in departure. 120.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
0.7. And then we're going to go ahead and we will get departure in so that we can quickly switch. So we're going to put that into recall. Alright. Daytona Tower, Walker 4021. Request clearance to depart runway 34. I think I said that wrong. Because I don't really want clearance. I already have clearance.
Walker 4021, runway 34, winds 315 at 8. RNAV barbs, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34, cleared for takeoff. Walker 4021. Alright. So, let's get going. So yeah, some little weird things you can see in front of us. The trees off to the right window, they look better. But there's definitely, you know, it's far from perfect in the model, but...
November 633 Romeo.
So...
PN 633 Romeo Delta, Daytona Beach International Airport Tower. Daytona Beach International Airport, information Romeo. Wind 195 at 8. Visibility 10.
Now it's telling me
Scattered at 5,000
it's
feet
doing
and 1,000
60
feet.
frames a
Temperature
second.
2 to 7. Dew point 18.
Alright,
North.
okay. So let's get going. That's the nice thing with the small little jets. You just kind of roll out and do your thing. Whoa. It's been a while, I guess. Man, I am everywhere. Alright, we are up. Positive climb. Gear up. Get ourselves to 400. And this should hopefully stabilize at some point. Alright, we don't need all that power. We can back it off. Alright. So we've got that.
Daytona Beach Tower, Bravo November 633 Romeo Delta, request full stop landing. BN3 Romeo Delta.
Daytona departure, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Daytona departure, radar contact, cleared direct barbs.
Clear direct barbs, Walker 4021. Alright, we'll head on up. We'll get ourselves down here before we start to have a problem. Alright, what have we got and why? Alright, we can probably pitch up a little bit more.
Walker 4021, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Climb and maintain flight level 190, Walker 4021. Alright. So we're going to do flight level change. And now we're going to crank this up. And that should then let us start climbing.
200 knots, switching to 118.7, Air Canada 763.
So, a little bit of rocket ship climb here.
Sierra Bravo.
So I'm thinking that's going to peel off a little bit. Yeah, because now you can see we're going up too fast. It's 190. So looks like we're turning toward barbs. Just make sure. Yep, okay. So everything is good. Ay, ay, ay. So we've taken off. I don't know. We're probably far enough away now that, yeah, I don't know that I can pick up the racetrack anywhere back there, but it's there somewhere. I'm sure we'll have it included in some way. But we are now heading off away from Daytona. So yeah, some of the models, some of what's going on in 2024, just a bit challenging, you know, because like I said, I think this is somewhat the frame generation and all that causes some of that. So it's like if you don't look around too much, it seems to do okay. So let me see what you've got. Yeah, looks like you're getting progress. So you can see 282 nautical miles. Again, we're a little short with what we've got there. Alright, so we should be, I'm assuming, hitting, we're climbing at such a steep angle. It's just, can't even look out the window. We can't really see the ground. I mean, we can over there, but I mean, we're still climbing at 6,200 feet a minute.
Walker 4021, climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, Walker 4021. Whoops, blew right past that. Now blew, it's good that it's sensitive, but alright. And again, we're heading for 320, so it's gonna, you know, and now we're dropping down, as you can see, to 5,000 feet, which is still a heck of a climb rate. But yeah, these little jets are always fun that way. They're not like a, you know, a Learjet, I think, is referred to as a rocket ship, which is nuts because I think I remember seeing that they were developed around a fighter engine, like an F4 Phantom or something, and that's the engine they have. So they can almost do like a vertical climb like a fighter. I mean, I don't think they're quite that crazy, but you know, because again, they obviously have some more passengers in them than a fighter jet would, but yeah, if it's pretty empty, that thing can probably do some crazy stuff. Alright, so we're starting to turn because we have a sharp turn here.
Walker 4021, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.0.
Contact Jacksonville Center, 134.0, Walker 4021. Alright, so now that gets put in the radio. Jacksonville Center, Walker 4021, flight level 250, up to flight level 300.
Walker 4021, Jacksonville Center, good morning.
Alright, so
American 789, descend and maintain flight level 270.
So if we head out, now the coast will be off in this direction. But we've gone, you know, as you can see, a good ways inland.
Climb and maintain flight level 360.
You know, when you're moving at, what, ground speed 350 knots? So now we're falling down to 3,000, so our climb rate is definitely slowing down.
Walker 4021, Jacksonville Center, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, Walker 4021. Alright.
Jacksonville Center, Brickyard 960.
So that will get us in.
Brickyard
And
960, Jacksonville Center, climb and maintain flight level 360.
let's see. So yeah, we've got a little bit to go to noise, and it looks like we'll probably be there So that's where we did dial in flight level 320. We knew barbs would probably be too soon. Alright. Yeah, it's a little smoother on the recording maybe than it is in my actual view, which is good, because man, it's a little sickening. I mean, when I do something that quick, you can see the jumps I see, but alright, last couple thousand feet, and then obviously we will start accelerating because we'll start leveling out. So, looks like it has us locked in at Mach 6.4. But, so we're not quite up there for noise, but we tried. But yeah, we're still going 22 or 30, it might be 3,200, so either way, but it'll level out and then I assume hop forward pretty fast, so we're just gonna have to keep an eye on things. But there we go, we've locked in the altitude. And now we'll accelerate. So, level flight. Now, I know looking at my little nav map, we do have planes around. So, yeah, there's one below us, I think. Yeah, he's at 4,000 feet. There's a couple a long ways ahead of us that are at 22,000 feet, so they're still below. Alright, so we just got to be careful as we start getting close to our max. But good news is, you know, we're now moving at well into the 400 knots ground speed. We'll just start dialing things back a little bit here. And we'll see where, if we can settle in like we did the last flight on a pretty good movement. So we're just about getting up to St. Augustine on the map, heading straight over Jacksonville. At this point we're going
Walker 4021, expect the RNAV runway 24 approach into Atlanta Speedway. Anticipate descent in about 20 minutes. If you'd like to descend now, just say the word.
Expect RNAV runway 24 into Atlanta Speedway. Walker 4021. Yeah, no reason to descend now, but
Heavy expedite climb to flight level 390.
Expediting climb to flight level 390, Emirates 240 heavy.
okay.
Archer 81956, Jacksonville
So
Center.
we're going to dial this way down. I'm sure that's where we'll be. Whoops.
Archer
Forgot to change my transition altitude.
Archer
So
81956, we'd like to request breaking off the arc direct for the ILS 7 approach, Daytona. Archer 956.
all right. So we do have some different information here. So we do need to go change this, because we are now coming in on 3-4. Our flight or 2-4. Our flight plan was for 6. Okay, why is it not letting me do this? There we go. RNAV 24. So I guess we'll execute. We'll take a look. Let me look at my flight planning software. So we're going to change to that. And I know the arrivals are coming from the north. Okay, so now it's going to have us at Yebut. So I do need to get Yebut in there. Alright, which we do, so that's okay. And we're going to execute that. And all should be good. But then it should refigure the top of descent. I'll turn off, I don't know why flight level change was kind of hanging around there. We'll back off the throttle just a hair. Alright, moved it up a tiny bit to try to, again, lock it into just a nice, steady flow. And again, 20 minutes or so until we're going to land. At this point, as you can see, we've got clear skies ahead. Not much is going to be happening. We're going to be coming up on the course departure. I'm going to actually change my range. Whoops, not my data. I'm going to change my range a little bit here. Whoops, wrong way. So we'll move it up there to where we've got 50 miles of visibility. So you can see we're going to hit that pretty soon. And then that's over Jacksonville. It's Craig. And then we'll be heading off at another heading. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and step away for, you know, maybe 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Maybe we'll start our descent, because last time I did join up pretty quickly, and that didn't turn into anything that was much, because I just really ran out of things to tell you. But pretty straight cruise here now that we're up at cruising altitude. So I will see you in a bit.
119.375.
So I am back. You can see top of descent is coming. We've got less than 100 miles to, again, the airport that I've provided. So just keep that in mind. Again, that's not where we are flying to. We're going a little bit further. I realized we hadn't talked about, you know, the Daytona 500. And so, yeah, William Byron was the winner. So our customers really enjoyed their time here because we had to come in for the duels.
When you're ready to begin your descent, descend and maintain flight level 230.
Descend and maintain flight level 230, Walker 4021. So, you know, and we're going for the Ambetter Health 400 here at Atlanta Speedway. So definitely, you know, kind of now getting into the flow where things move pretty much every week. I'm trying to catch up. I didn't realize they had put this out there. If you hadn't noticed or seen the first episode and heard me talk about that a little bit, I submitted this tour back in, I don't know, December, January. Descend and maintain 15,000, Walker 4021. Alright, so we'll dial in what they're giving us so that we're doing what we should be doing. Alright, and we should be getting that blinking of TOD. Now it went away. And now we will join up and we will just drop back here to kind of an idle speed. But yeah, we can see the little bar is shrinking there. So we're stabilizing a little bit. We might want to accelerate just a tiny fraction, because I don't want to slough off more speed than I need to. You know, I don't need to be below 250 till 10,000 feet. Okay, that looks about stable.
Walker 4021, descend and maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Walker 4021. Alright, so they were more aggressive than even I had expected them to be. But we are going between smaller airports, so we're not going to be dealing with stars and things like that have complicated arrivals. There will probably be, I forget, you know, there's probably a few large airports we go to, but as I explained in the introduction that I had provided for the tour, the target was really to get our clients as close to the track as possible. There were some cases where there just really wasn't a suitable airport. You know, we're not going to be landing on grass runways and and things like that. But where we could, we definitely tried to get creative. I did identify a problem in the tour. Somehow they sent us to Idaho for the Martinsville races. And if you know anything about NASCAR, you know Martinsville is not in Idaho. It is in Virginia. So there's a couple, well, there's 4 really long legs in the tour right now because of that. But there are some people that have finished the whole tour. So it's possible they may be like, well, yeah, we understand there was a mistake. You know, and I do feel bad because
heavy, proceed direct to fix Alpha Lima Tango.
if somehow they had let me know and I had a chance to review and I didn't, I apologize to anyone.
On 134.85, JetBlue 470.
I apologize to anyone who's watching this and is like, how did you do this? Why did you create this way? I didn't. At least to my knowledge, I didn't, because, again, you can't really, that I know of, see the tickets we submit to Walker, which is how I was asked to submit the tour, and I'm pretty sure, because it's not like the name was close, because I think it's like Magic Valley Airport is where they sent us to, but, and it is not like it's not like Martinsville Airport. There is a little bit of a different name, but it's nothing crazy.
On 123.9 or 5.
Contact Atlanta Center, Walker 4021. Alright, so let's go back here. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 250, descending to 3000. So just trying to get everything up. Alright, did it not? Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 250, descending to 3000. Just not sure why it didn't. Maybe I hit the wrong button. Sometimes I do that.
21 Atlanta Center, good morning.
Because I use the left alternate key, the Alt key, instead of the left control, which is what is the push to talk for almost everything else I do. But part of that is I wanted to keep it separate so that if I am in Discord or something where I do have push to talk as left control, that I'm not suddenly talking on ATC frequency at the same time. So I needed separate things there. I'm assuming we're going to stick with Atlanta Center, because I'm pretty sure Hampton does not have, may not even have a tower. So, but we're going slowly slowing. We're close enough now that I think things would work nicely. So yeah, if anybody's got any ideas on how to stop those, I think stopping the stutters would require us to go away from the things that do give us a nicer frame rate. Because otherwise I think we get like 20 frames a second, which is not hideous, but it's obviously not ideal. And so with the frame generation DLSS, it goes ahead and kind of inserts those, but I think it seems to be causing a bit of an issue. And it's been a while since I've been in 2024. I've been doing a lot of my flying in 2020 just because that's where I need to use the planes. I mean, one of the things I do need to get back to, but now this NASCAR thing's thrown a little bit of a wrench into it, because I was planning to have it in the mix here, is A Pilot's Life series, where, I'm flying 737s, and those aren't available in the 2024 sim yet. PMDG is still working on their 2024 model. I see. It's
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, descend and maintain 2500, altimeter 30.09er.
Send and maintain 2500, Walker 4021. Alright, so let me get
Delta
3009er,
Delta Alpha November VOR.
because we're going to hit that
Clear direct
soon.
Delta Alpha November VOR, Delta 401.
And then we want to dial this down to 2500.
You want me at flight level 250 or 30?
Tank 33, roger. Descend and maintain to 5000.
Alright. So we're coming up on the transition altitude. And again, that will have us switch. We'll get a little bit of a jump there. But yeah, we're descending about 1800. We're what, 42 nautical miles away. That doesn't seem enough. I don't know. Well, I guess it's 1,000 feet every 3 or so. Yeah, so at 30,000 it would be 90. So maybe. Alright, so we got that. That'll require a little bit of a quicker drop for a moment. And now we continue. Alright, I'm going to back off because we are accelerating. And at this point we do need to be decelerating down to 250 by the time we hit 10,000. So I'm just going to let myself kind of get there. And then we'll try to stabilize a little bit under 250. Oh, and I keep forgetting, the 37 is, we're short there. So, alright, let me change the range as well. Get myself probably to that, where I've got the range out to 10, so we're not going to see much for a little while here. Because, yeah, 16,000 is going to basically be 30, like 58 miles. And, you know, by the time we turn and we do everything, because we are obviously not heading straight for the airport. So that's the other piece of this.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta, approach on 128.575.
Contact Atlanta, approach, Walker 4021. So that's the one thing with this that's more challenging. We have to keep like going away from our legs page. Atlanta approach, Walker 4021, flight level 150, descending to 2500.
Walker 4021, Atlanta approach. Good morning, Atlanta Speedway. Altimeter 30.12.
Alright, let's adjust that. 1, 1, 1, 2. Alright, we're going to drop further because we are starting to speed up again.
Walker 4021, turn right, heading 360 vectors for the RNAV runway 24 approach.
Turn right, heading 360, RNAV 24 approach, Walker 4021. Alright, so now we're going to deviate from the plan.
JetBlue 183 traffic departing runway 27, climb and maintain 7,000.
But that's fine, it's going to give us a little bit more distance.
JetBlue 183.
Walker 1024, Atlanta approach.
Oh,
Alrighty, when you can please contact Atlanta Center.
another Walker flight.
125.
Look
They're
at that.
expecting you. Have a good chat.
127.125.
Cirrus 981 Tango Mike, descend to 2000, cleared ILS 18.
Descending to 2000, cleared ILS 18981 Tango Mike.
Alright. We are still slowing down, so we're technically 2 miles over, but we'll probably be okay. Maybe we'll pull back a little bit.
Frontier 4771 descending 84,000 for 5,000 for the ILS 26. Right.
So it's saying it's unable for Yebut Because we got to go from 10 to 2, so in theory we need 24 miles. It'll be close. It should be very, very close. Alright. So, maybe slowing down will help, because we might be able to then descend faster. I don't know. Because, yeah, I'm not sure why we've gone down to, you know, 1,300 or whatever. But we have. So, let me clear this. Clear that. Alright, and we will get ourselves down to flaps 15. So, just a good clear day. I end up never turning off the landing lights, so they're like always on, so I don't have to worry about that, I guess. Because that's, in theory, what I should be doing, but...
Walker 4021, proceed direct Y butt. Descend and maintain 2600 until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 24 approach.
Proceed direct, yeah, but descend and maintain 2600 until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 24 approach. Walker 4021. So we'll see. 7,000. I mean, we need to be above 2,600, and then at Hamp we want to be at 2,600, so... Alright, looks like we're stabilizing about 230, which is fine. You know, and if it starts to drop faster, then I'll deal with that. And again, as a reminder, we are not going to 6 Alpha 2. That was just an airfield that was nearby and closer than Atlanta, and also not past the airfield, which is what Atlanta was. So we're going to be south of Atlanta.
Juliet Kilo, climb to 5,500 contact center on 124.7.
5,500 switching to 124.778, 6 Juliet Kilo.
Right. I mean, it's feeling okay. You know, we're below 8,000 feet now. We've still got 15 miles to Yeah But, which is funny, but that would be like entirely in line with things associated with racing, maybe, but it's pretty funny. Alright, as we get closer, you know, we'll get the approach radar on so we can, again, establish on the localizer, but since it's an RNAV approach, you know, we can follow a glide slope and so forth, but it's not necessarily going to be that clear. See, so right now, distance to go went from 21 to 22, so I'm thinking we're kind of past the airport, and now it'll be behind us, so I don't know. Not sure what the bar, because the bar on top is still making some progress forward, I think. I think I see little increments. So maybe the bar will work correctly for the length of the flight, but no, that wouldn't make sense, so I don't know. So the bar may never get all the way over, is I guess the point. I'm sure at some point we're going to be asked to change. So the thing is, like, we're supposed to be... Oh, I'm supposed to proceed direct, yeah, but goofy me. So let me do that, because yeah, now I need to turn. and that means I need to go back on nav, and that will bring me over. So that should certainly help, because we've probably gone way too far from the direction we really wanted to go. But yeah, now we're almost probably going to be coming in just directly into it. We probably went north enough. But yeah, you can see we're getting down close to 2600, but now given that we have 10 miles to go down 2,000 feet, that will be more than enough. Path below AC. I don't know if that means there's something in my way that is going to... I mean, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm obviously going to keep an eye out. Alright, so no, we didn't pass it yet, but we were certainly getting close there. You know, nothing is really changing as far as that distance, so now we got a little more nearby, but... But yeah, it's not very far. You can kind of see a little bit more here. You know, we've got maybe 10, 12 miles from the airport once we're there. Now we're within 1,000 of where we need. Then we'll flatten out. We'll start to slow down.
United 1244 cleared the visual 27.
Cleared for the visual 27, United 1244.
Alright, we'll get the approach turned on.
56 Foxtrot. Not seeing you on radar here.
Alright, interesting.
Ident again for me, please.
So is there no localizer? Oh, okay. Well. Alright, so we're capturing at 2600, which is what we wanted. Oh, very jittery even here. I thought the outside view might be a little bit more stable, but it's not. Alright, so within a couple miles, and then we're going to make a relatively sharp left. Probably start making that earlier.
Walker 4021, radar services terminated. Atlanta Speedway Airport at your 1 o'clock, 14 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Squawk VFR, report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. Have a good morning.
Airport at 11 o'clock, 14 miles. Moving to VFR, Walker 4021. Alright, so this should get us on. Now this is I think a 5,000 foot runway. So this is not a huge airport. So unlike coming into Daytona that can accept some pretty significantly sized flights, that is not what we have here. I am going to put my gear down. That will add some drag, probably get us to flaps 15 speed. Looks like it's actually going to blow us right through flaps 15 speed.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Speedway Airport at your 1 o'clock, 10 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. Safe flight.
Change to advisory, Walker 4021. Now, it can't really tell if I did that or not, so it shouldn't be, like, totally yelling at me about it. So, we'll see, but hopefully now that I've told them I've changed to advisory, it'll just leave it there. Alright, so in theory, it should grab the glide path at least. It just doesn't look like it is gonna lock me into the vector, although again, I think that is where we're headed. We're accelerating past flaps 15. Okay, so now, yes, we've grabbed the glide path. So we're going to want to back off a little bit. Get ourselves down to flaps 35. And then, you know, obviously come in at even a slower speed than that. So pull back on the throttle a bit, not too much. We want to definitely do some gentle inputs. Alright, we'll get the flaps fully extended, and then that will quickly pull us down, as you can see. And so what we've got, I think, off to the left is Atlanta Speedway.
My plane 69er Sierra Mike, maintain 4,000, expect vectors for the visual 24.
But, you know, that's why we want to land at these airports, because, you know, that's going to work well.
Southwest 1421, out of 7,800 for flight level 210.
Alright, so having that water right in line here, not the greatest, but yeah, that's definitely the freeway over
4021,
there.
Atlanta Speedway Airport at your 1 o'clock, 2 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency.
Alright, we're going to get ourselves a little bit lower, and, you know, then we'll be ready to go. Let's see, get closer. It says we're low, which seems strange.
Autopilot.
Because we shouldn't be. Man, this is unpleasant, to say the least, with the way this works. Alright, once we cross the threshold, we'll pull the engines back. Man, this is hard. There we go, that's better. A little bit of a bounce. Not the smoothest, but it could have been worse, so. Alright, so we'll roll. I guess there's no exit there, so we're gonna... Ooh, ground's doing weird things over there, I'll tell you that. Alright, let's get some thrust into things here, so we can turn around, head back to the exit point off the runway, but we're here for our second race of the season. So I'm going to try to get these done as quickly as I can. I have put in a ticket to ask if they would consider changing, and so maybe, because it's the end of leg 6, this was leg 2, but it's the end of leg 6, and then obviously taking off from 7, and then it repeats again at 36 and 37. So, you know, if they change it, that will substantially shorten the time and make it easier, because at that point I'm just going from, I think, somewhere, I'm going just a few miles. It's really not anything. Alright, so we don't have any tower or anything here, so it's just heading over to some parking space. Nobody's going to give us any ATC. Get our flaps put away. That will help. Going uphill a bit, so we're going to accelerate. But yeah, always enjoy this. You know, it's this series. It's, you know, crisscrosses the U.S., gives us some options, but you know, definitely looking to bring some other things maybe to the channel. I've gotten some older planes. I definitely want to get moving on more flight sim stuff. Now, a lot of it may still be in 2020. We'll see. While I hate to transition this back to 2020, I'll tell you, this crazy view is... This technically isn't I was going to say, this technically is not a parking spot. God, this This stuttering is just interesting. I don't know. If I have a really short flight, I might try it without. I just don't want to suddenly have just a totally botched flight and have to do it again, because it's hard enough as it is. Alright, parking brake on. We just hopefully make sure that everything on the walker side is appearing as it should. It looks like it is. So we're as good as any other plane here on the tarmac. So I think we're fine. So we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves shut down here. That will submit everything and officially consider the second leg complete. So glad to have that. I'm going to try to get these edited and out as quick as possible. So you should see them. You may see them in groups. But I'm trying to catch up. The Sunday that's approaching in real time right now is April 13th. I do not believe I will have caught up, especially if I have to fly to Idaho. If somehow they change things, there's a slight possibility, because I mean that literally will take, gosh, it'll be probably 3,000 miles out of the travel if that gets changed. And that's pretty significant, given this leg was 300, so, you know, multiply that by 10, and that's the amount of flying time. You know, it would decrease a little bit with the 737, but which is what we'll probably be flying, and that may even exceed the range, because, I mean, it's almost 2,000 nautical miles. I don't know that a 737 can go that far. I may have to go to a longer haul plane, which is going to make life really interesting, because I'm pretty sure the airport that they put us at over there is really, really small. So you're not going to land like a 747 there. But we'll figure it out when we get there. Right now we've got several legs before that. But we've got our clients here in Atlanta getting ready for the Ambetter Health 400. And I will see you next time.